Iran and Israel, from allies to enemies, and the ongoing secret war. Iran and Israel, two countries in the Middle East, whose rivalry is a crucial aspect of global politics today. But did you know that these two nations were once allies? How did this friendship turn into hostility? Today, we take you deep into the dark aspects of Iran-Israel relations, where secret wars, proxy conflicts, and nuclear threats come to the forefront. The era of alliance. Before 1979, Iran and Israel had strong and stable relations. Iran was among the first countries to recognize Israel. Both nations shared common interests as opponents of the Arab world. Israel provided Iran with agricultural, military, and technical assistance, while Iran supplied oil to Israel. This alliance was so strong that Israeli experts were even training the Iranian military. The Islamic Revolution and the start of hostility. Then came the Islamic Revolution of 1979. Under the leadership of Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, the revolution completely changed Iran's stance. Khomeini cut all ties with Israel and declared it an illegitimate state. He made the Palestinian cause a major part of Iran's foreign policy and began issuing harsh statements against Israel. Since then, Iran's animosity toward Israel has only intensified. Part 3. Secret Wars and Espionage Operations. A thrilling aspect of the Iran-Israel enmity is their secret wars and espionage operations. The assassination of Iranian scientists, like Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, considered the architect of Iran's nuclear program, is believed to be part of Mossad's covert operations. Several times, both countries have engaged in secret attacks and retaliations, aiming to disrupt each other's military and nuclear plans. Part 4. Iran's nuclear pursuit and Israel's fear. Iran's nuclear program has set off alarm bells in the region. For Israel, Iran's nuclear ambitions represent the biggest threat, and Israel has made numerous global efforts to prevent Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons. Iran has faced international sanctions and negotiations, but Israel remains determined to prevent Iran from becoming a nuclear power. Part 5. Proxy Wars and the Story of Hezbollah. The Iran-Israel wars are not just direct. They are also fought through proxy groups. Groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon, which have Iran's support, are active against Israel. These proxy wars are an important tool for Iran to expand its influence in the region, while Israel sees these proxies as a major threat to its security. Part 6. Israel's alliance with Arab nations. To curb Iran's growing influence, Israel has established relations with other Arab countries in the region, like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. The Abraham Accords have brought Israel closer to Arab nations in the Middle East. The purpose of this alliance is to isolate Iran in the region and limit its growing power. Part 7. Religious and ideological differences. Religious and ideological differences between Iran and Israel also deepen this rivalry. Iran is a Shia-majority country that considers itself a supporter of the Palestinians. Meanwhile, Israel is a Jewish state that claims Palestinian territories. These religious and ideological differences make the relationship between the two countries even more complex. Part 8. Diverse opinions within Iran. But not all Iranians support the country's hostility toward Israel with the same intensity. Figures like Faiza Hashemi and Sadegh Ziba Kalam criticize Iran's stance on Israel, arguing that this policy has isolated Iran internationally. Some Iranian intellectuals believe that Iran should reassess its relationships. Part 9. The role of global powers. Global powers are also involved in this conflict. The United States is Israel's biggest ally and aids it against Iran, while Russia has sometimes supported Iran. These global powers take various steps to advance their interests in this conflict. Part 10. Recent clashes and the Syrian conflict. Following an Israeli attack on the Iranian consulate in Syria, Iran retaliated by targeting sites in Israel. These attacks are part of an ongoing conflict, with both nations continuing to strike each other. Will this hostility between Iran and Israel continue? Will there ever be improvement in their relations? Or will this tension persist? This question remains, and perhaps only time will tell.